Hello there, M&A Advisor community. This is Roger Aguinaldo, and welcome back to the M&A Advisor podcast. Since 1998, the M&A Advisor's mission is to recognize achievements, provide thought leadership, and connect professionals in mergers and acquisitions for the purpose of improving your deal-making craft and accelerating your deal flow. We are so glad you're joining us for this insightful and inspiring podcast conversation curated for mergers and acquisitions professionals. Whether you're an aspiring deal maker, a seasoned professional, or just curious about the world of mergers and acquisitions, you'll find something valuable and relevant in our podcast. Our goal is to bring you the best insights, stories, and tips from the experts who've been there and done that, so you can learn from their successes and mistakes and take your deal-making skills to the next level. But before we dive into today's episode, we have a small favor to ask you. If you enjoy listening to our podcast and find it useful, please consider following us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and subscribing to our M&A Alerts newsletter. You can find the links in the description below. This will help us reach more people like you and grow our community of M&A professionals. It will also let us know that you appreciate our work and want us to keep producing more quality content for you. Plus, you'll never miss an episode, and you'll always be in the loop with the latest trends in the M&A world to improve and accelerate your deal making. So please follow us. You are the reason we do what we do, and we couldn't do it without you. And now for today's podcast. Welcome back to the M&A Advisor podcast, where we share powerful stories that inspire. Today's episode takes us back to a remarkable moment from an unforgettable luncheon keynote panel where the world of M&A and deal-making paused and the power of human resilience took center stage. Recorded live at the 2024 Future of Dealmaking Summit on November 16th in New York City, this moving dialogue features Paralympic Games gold medalist Michael Brannigan and his longtime coach and mentor, Sonja Robinson, with Robert J. Strang, CEO of Investigative Management Group, moderating the panel. Together, they explore the extraordinary journey of resilience, determination, and raw talent that defied all odds, a conversation that will stay with you long after the final word. Don't miss this memorable story of grit and greatness. So whether you're in the business of closing deals or chasing personal breakthroughs, this conversation will inspire you to think bigger and push farther. Let's dive in.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to quickly introduce our keynote, this session on Setbacks to Success, mentoring a Paralympic Games athlete and gold medalist. This is going to be led by Robert J. Strang. He is the CEO at Investigative Management Group. And Robert, I will let you further introduce Mr. Michael Brannigan and his coach, Sonja Robinson.
Thank you. We're very fortunate to have this incredible athlete and this incredible coach. And they have a terrific story to tell you that is inspirational in many ways. You know, the New York Athletic Club started in 1868, and it was really started because it was, the second oldest club in the country. The other one was the Olympic Club out in San Francisco. And the club was started to help organize athletics, help organize sports. And then, as things progressed, our athletes attended Athens in 1898. It was the first Olympics that they actually participated in. And we've participated. I've been a member here for 30 years. I was on the board of governors. I was head of the membership committee. And, I think we have the best club in the world, the New York Athletic Club, with almost 10,000 members, right? So we're pretty big. But what I'd like to highlight is since that time, in 98, in Athens, we've collected a tremendous amount of gold medals, silver. We have right now 321 medals. That's amazing. That is unheard of. And one of the 21st or the last one is the Paris Olympics, and that's what we're going to talk about now. So I'm going to ask Michael and Sonja, maybe Sonja, if you start to just talk about you and how you became Michael's coach, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here, and Michael and I are just so honored to speak with you and share our story. So I started coaching Michael. I met Michael in 2014. Michael is a Paralympic athlete. His classification is a T20 athlete, meaning he is intellectually impaired. Michael is also intellectually impaired and is on the autism spectrum. But before he entered Paralympic sport, he did some pretty incredible things. He is still the New York State record holder in the 2 mile, running 8:42 for 2 miles. He was a 403 miler, a 151 800 meter runner, and of course the 8:43 2 mile, which is in terms of track and field, that's an incredible range and ability. So he was definitely best in the country. He was unable to go to college. He can get past the clearinghouse because of his intellectual impairment. But because of the New York AC, we found another route to success. Michael has since become a member and an athlete representative of the New York AC. He has broken the 4-minute mile barrier. He is still the only Paralympic athlete to break 4 minutes in the mile. He was the 276th person American to break the 4-minute mile barrier. So I will just let you know this one thing. Michael is an incredible athlete. He's even a better person. People ask me all the time, why did you want to coach him? And it has nothing to do with track and field. When Michael was a freshman in high school, he asked his parents if he could take algebra. They were like, no, you can't. Mind you, he's always been in special ed. He wanted to take algebra. He refused to go to school unless they let him take algebra. They said, you can't do it. You can't do it. The teachers, counselors, principal, you're not going to be able to do this. He's going to fail. Michael took algebra, passed algebra, and has a Regents algebra credit. So, heck yeah, I want to coach anybody that says, everybody says, you can't do this. You can't do this. You're going to fail. It's going to be terrible. He was like, no, I know I can do this. Anybody that has that kind of belief that they can achieve something when everybody else is like saying, no, you can't, I want to coach that person. So.
Sonja, just before you ask Michael, tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to be Michael's coach. Your coaching, your own background.
So I ran track and field back in the dark ages. I went to the University of Missouri. I'm from New York. I'm actually from Buffalo, New York. I got to Missouri in a roundabout way. I went to an elite camp in the 80s, just off of, I'm definitely a Title IX girl. I feel like I got the full benefit of Title IX from middle school to high school and into college. So the summer of 1982, 83, I was invited to the U.S. Olympic Center training centers in Lake Placid. And there were coaches there that, one of the coaches there actually ended up becoming the head coach at University of Missouri. He recruited myself and my roommate. We were both from New York. And the one way that he could get us to Missouri was the athletic director said, hey, you have to be able to score at your conference meet. So I'm going to date myself. Back then there was the Big 8. um, conference, and the Big 8 is no more. It's like at the Big 12, I think now. But anywho, we all had to be in order for us to go to school at Mizzou, we had to be able to score at our conference championship. And so um, I went to Mizzou, ran after college, had a working career, and then I started volunteer coaching with different clubs around town. And I met Michael and his parents, got them through eligibility and classification. And then in 2015, his high school coach said that he would no longer be able to coach him after high school. And I became the lucky duck, so to speak. Um, that's that's it.
It's a great story and a great pair. Michael, do you want to talk a little bit about what it feels like to be a bronze winner in the 1500?
Yeah, and I'm Michael Brannigan. Also a Rio Paralympic gold medalist in Rio in 2016, and then bronze medalist in PALs and Paralympic Games. Felt really good, and I'm from East Northport, the North Shore, Long Island. Graduated class of 2015 at Northport High School, and I still one for York Athletic Club since 2015 after I graduated from high school. And I love running. I compete in cross country track at Northport High School.
That's great. And
I started one as 9 years old with one for a special needs program with Coach Steve Cuomo. I love running, and it's a passion. I have a gift from God. It's a passion. I love to run, and it makes me happy and release stress. And I like to have fun. It makes me happy. I like to work hard with teammates surrounding with me, and with teammates, with like train group, and helps me push further. It's a journey.
how was it for you during the pandemic?
COVID,
Yes.
a pandemic in 2020. It was really stressful. It's really stressful. I had to leave home from my family and friends, and hard loved ones. The tough, stressful, and going to one place to another. And we were in couple weeks at the training center in Colorado Springs for altitude. And then during COVID in 2020, I decided move up to train up with Buffalo with my coach Sonja next to me.
And that was the path to Paris.
That was the path to Paris. So
Sick in Paris.
yeah, so
Us.
so not only did he get sick, but he so everybody dreams of having that great performance on the day. And so for Olympians and Paralympians, you got to perform on that day. There's no do-over. It's that day at that time. And so Michael was humming along very nicely. You can look at NBC at the Paralympic trials. He ran, so he went out in the 1500 at the trials in 2:05, came back in 1:54, which is really like the pace drop change is just really spectacular. So we did a couple time trials, very fast. Unfortunately, the week of his race, on that Wednesday, he raced on Friday, and Wednesday he started getting sick and having major GI issues. It was so bad that the morning of his race at 5:30 in the morning, I got a phone call from the doctor and our team leader. Michael's sick. Michael's really sick. Michael's really sick. So we had to go to his room. And I said, hey, Michael, how you doing? He's like, opens the door. It's like, you got my breakfast? Uh, and they were questioning whether or not he would be able to run because he had whenever you have dehydration and everything, it goes in for 2 days. So they were very concerned. And so the doc said, he seems like he's fine. If he wants to do it, I'll release him to compete and give it a try. He did. And, I say that the best races that he's ever had are races that he actually did not win. This was, in my opinion, the race of his life because he took the risk. He could have completely, had an accident on the track. He didn't know what was going to happen. He was feeling really, really bad, but he showed up and he gave himself that chance to just see, let's see. They had 3 runners had passed him with 150 to go. When I tell you he fought for that bronze medal, he really put everything into it because he was not going to be denied that day, So I have a rule in when we train that if you don't run through the line in a workout, you owe me 10 push-ups. So I think there's about 1,000 push-ups in that bronze medal, because literally they had it clearly passed him. And he was just like,
What called for?
exactly. And so
I never give up. The inspiration.
you are. But I think that goes back to the reason why I coached him. I agreed to coach him is that algebra story, like that tenacity to be so determined against all the odds. I'm going to find a way. And so I think Michael finds a way to get it done when his back is against the wall. Every accomplishment, everything that he's learned to do that we take for granted, he didn't learn how to tie his shoes until he was 9. 9. I will tell you this. We went to the World Championships this year, and I didn't even realize it. I coach another athlete that's also on the spectrum and intellectually impaired. She cannot tie her shoes. Didn't know that. She's in her 30s. Didn't even think about it because Michael ties his shoes. Half of the men in his race at the World Championships cannot tie their shoes. And so everything that Michael achieves on the track, I know he gets joy from it because he loves running. Everything that is about life, he works hard to try to do those little things that we just take for granted. So,
Love and a commitment. It's a passion.
yeah. And so I don't take that for granted. It makes me work harder to make things easier for him. And so, for those of you out there that are looking at companies that might be a great product or great people or, but it's just, a mess, a hot mess. So like I wouldn't touch them with 10-foot full. Maybe give them a second chance, a second look at maybe, there might be something there. Maybe they didn't have all the advantages that other companies have, Maybe there's something going on that they don't even know they need to address, like if you don't know, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, So, yeah, there's a lot of challenges in coaching somebody like Michael, but there's such an upside. We go to track meets all around the world. And the one thing that is consistent about Michael is
I look up to all the track athletes, like middle and long distance track athletes.
Yep.
I look up to Matt Sensuous,
and so one of the things that's
gold medalist in Rio in 2016, 1500.
So, thing about he's passionate about his sport and his profession. Number two is he's such a sportsman. Um, After he ran his race in Paris, one of his competitors, like at the junior level, and noticed that Michael was still on the track. Why? Michael will shake every single. He was waiting for the last person in the race. Michael had finished in like 30 seconds ago. He was waiting for
Sportsmanship.
exactly that sportsmanship. You can't teach that, and that's just ingrained in this part of him. And I look at all of the things that he is able to do, and they far outweigh the things that I'm challenged by in teaching him and coaching him. And so that's
It doesn't get better than that. Michael, congratulations, and we wish you all the best of luck in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sonja.
No late for you. No late for you.
We have time for a few questions, but before I do that, there is a video on Michael's incredible story that we'd like to show. I think back here and do we have it also on the side screens as well?
In the final laps, Mikey Brannigan broke away, finishing first by a full 4 seconds. His family in the stands, his old high school in New York, cheering him on. Mikey is the first American runner with autism to win gold in the 1500 meter at the Paralympics.
I'm happy for Mikey. Yeah.
All of it means so much more when you know what it took for Mikey to get here. Diagnosed with autism at 18 months old, he didn't speak for years.
At 3 years old, they told us to start getting on wings for group homes because the good ones are 12 years long.
He used to run into walls, but when he was 7, his parents found a way to channel that energy, a running club for kids with special needs. It became his passion.
Do you think autism makes you a better runner?
About puss.
A better person.
Every time I brought him to a race or a practice, he was just a regular kid. And all the other stuff there goes. Everything goes away when he's out in the track. Michael Brannigan, world champion.
My son is taking me all over the country, all over the world. My autistic son is showing us the world.
Now he dreams of Tokyo in 2020, crossing over from the Paralympics to the Olympics.
Keep on practicing and then getting stronger from.
He's already a winner. Kate Snow, NBC News, East Northport, New York.
NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Do we have any questions for Sonja or for Michael? Anybody? Go ahead.
Possible to cross over from. I'm sorry. In the case of you were looking to cross over to the Olympics, does that happen ever or often?
Yes, it does. It's possible. Michael actually runs because of his skill set. He actually runs on the Olympic side quite often. There are in the United States, in the world. He is despite winning bronze.
TF?
Yeah,
USATF?
USATF, which is USA Track and Field. That's the Olympic side. It was just recently announced, though, that USA Track and Field is actually going to take over Paralympic Track and Field, which is really great for Michael because he runs on the Olympic side more often than he runs on the Paralympic side. Believe it or not, it's very confusing for Michael to run in Paralympic sport because he is so good. He's challenged by pace. And so, running is a lot by feel when you're running the race. And so he's waiting for basically the piano to jump on his back, and then he knows to move. And when he's running a slower pace, that never comes. And so it's confusing for him because, he thinks if everybody trains, everybody could be a 4-minute miler. Like, like, that's not the way it works. But, that's a testament to his work ethic and his, ability to focus, zero in on what he wants to do, and then he just goes and attacks it. So.
One over here.
Thank you. Such an inspiring story. My question is, for the Olympic level athletes, they usually go through very intense mental game, some mental preparation to remove all of the worries and doubts and all of the things. Can you elaborate a little more? How is this process for Michael?
How about your point?
I do playing and mindfulness and something to release the stress. It makes me feel good and happy being around with all the people and friends and stuff.
And then we do like visualization. So he has his sports performance.
Meditation
Yeah,
helps and yoga.
he does breathing. Like sometimes you probably didn't notice it, but when you mic down, he actually really I could see him. So he does. He knows how to regulate. Because here you're
Even technique.
yeah, you're not track people. You're not track heads here, and so this is stressful for him and me. So. But he's learned how to manage that. And, fortunately, Michael was very good. He was okay. And then he hit 12 years of age, and then he had finally figured out how to race. So as a 12-year-old, he ran a 10K in 38:24, which is flying.
Go 38 flat.
Okay. 38 flat. So.
Advocate Cal Harbor, 10K
10K.
race in Northport.
Okay. Yeah. So,
My hometown.
which is a really, really challenging course, which this year the male runners ran 28:17. They're grown. So to put that, and so he always had little glimpses of being able to be excellent, but then you would have, like, what are you doing running backwards? So learning how to manage that has been a challenge. I think that is like some of the autism and some of the intellectual impairment does come to play. In high school, as great as he was, there would be some races where it was just not happening for him. Also in high school, they figured out that he needed to be gluten free. And so if you can imagine not being able to express like GI discomfort because you don't know, you think everybody is feeling the same way, you don't know to say something. Those are the kinds of challenges that Michael faces, and that I have to try to manage for him, help him with that. And so, it is scary sometimes. This summer, in fact, we ran at national championships. It was 98 degrees and the humidity was really high. On the track in the shade, it was 110 degrees. I don't even know what it was in the sun, but Michael ran the race and ran fine. About an hour and a half later, he had to go through drug testing like everybody else, and he ended up in the hospital. He was so dehydrated that he had to go and get IV fluids and so things like that. It's scary. We didn't know he was in trouble until it was he's throwing up. So, um, you know, that's how we deal with the mental aspects of it, and we just try to control what we can control and try to make races just like training. We train hard so the racing is easier. Not easy, but easier.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Michael, let's give Michael a nice, warm thank you.
Hey. Robert. So, Michael, congratulations on achieving
Thank you.
greatness.
Thank you.
So a question. So while you were working at achieving all these amazing results over a lifetime, you obviously had an incredible commitment to be the best that you could possibly be. Was that your own mindset to be the best you could be? Was it all the coaching that surrounded you for you to achieve greatness? Or what was your mindset? Was it learned? Was it just kind of inherent in your mindset?
In my heart, how I feel is I couldn't done it without my coach, my mom and dad, my family, my brothers, my friends, all at home in Northport, and all of the runners. I think all of the runners support me, USA Track and Field, and who I look up to, and who I see at track meets. Say when I go to a track meet, I say to myself, I want to be there. I want to be with those guys, and I want to be up there.
So Michael announced if you never go to a parade, like a hometown Americana parade, you should go to Cow Harbor
The
parade.
Grand Marshal at the Cal Harbor Day Parade in my hometown in Northport.
Northport this year. And
That was a
so,
lot of fun. I was being a Grand Marshal at the Cal Harbor 10K race.
but he absolutely, and he announced LA 28. And so I ask all my athletes at the end of the season before we start training, are you sure you want to do this? And even 6 months from now, I'll ask Michael again, are you sure you want to do this? And the reason why is because it does,
Journey.
but it also takes a lot of commitment and the sacrifice, like nobody wants to do a 15-mile run. Don't be confused, nobody wants to do that,
I have a girlfriend. None of that. No.
and the commitment and sacrifice, because he really wants to be on the Olympic side. And so do I think, I feel like this is my belief. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like as coaches, athletes come to you with their dreams and they're saying, help me. Help me. I'm just the helper. And so I'm a person of faith. It's kind of a servant's mentality. I'm serving him because he shared his dream with me and he's trusting me with it. And so I don't take that lightly. I know that every opportunity he gets to race might not come again. And so I try to focus on how do I get him one step closer, one step closer, one step closer. Yeah, is it going to be hard to make? Heck, we have to make it to USA Nationals, let alone the Olympic trials, so we're approaching that. He'll make his debut in the 10K in 2026 in the spring. That's 16 months away. You're thinking, oh my gosh, plenty of time. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I would love another 2 months, So, I think it definitely comes from within him. He's happy that other people are encouraging him, but definitely he has the drive. He's always, wanted this. He's heard him say it. He firmly believes he can cross over to onto the Olympic side. So
We're believers. Thank you so much, Sonja, Michael, and Robert. And thank you again to Robert, a longtime friend of M&A advisor and member here at the New York Athletic Club, for facilitating this inspiring conversation.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new from it. If you have any questions or comments for us or any of our guests, please feel free to leave them in the podcast platform of your choice or send us an email at editor@maadvisor.com. We would love to hear from you and get your feedback. And if you haven't done so already, please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and subscribe to our M&A Alerts newsletter at the links in the description or on our website at www.maadvisor.com. This will help you stay updated on the latest M&A interviews and trends and support our podcast to grow and reach more listeners like you. This is Roger Aguinaldo, the creator and founder of the M&A Advisor. Thank you for tuning in and being part of our M&A Advisor community. Until next time, stay safe and happy dealing.